what parts of your game do you think are just going to like come out of the gates? You're going to be just fine.
I think defense. That's something that I've been honing in on this summer with USC. Like Coach B, like she's just been defense.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my 3-point shot, I've been working on it. It's going to come out this season. We're going to see it. So kind of just...
I want to see pull-up threes. I want to see coming off a ball screen threes.
Gosh.
I don't care. Dagger threes. I want threes from you, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay, I got you.
Welcome back to Sometimes I Hoop. Today, we've got a special superstar on the podcast. Quick humble brag, 3-time Pac-12 champ, Pac-12 most improved player. Last season, dropped a career-high 41 points. Also, joined the 1,000-point club. And the hottest thing out of the transfer portal this summer, none other than my friend and former teammate, Kiki Iriafen. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Hey, Jay.
Oh my gosh, such a long-winded intro. You deserve it though. What a star. I feel so honored to have you on, honestly.
Thank you so much.
But we have a new season here on the podcast that calls for a new icebreaker here. So what was the first concert that you ever went to?
First concert? Okay, I was in 5th grade and there's a band called 5 Seconds of Summer. And that was the first ever concert. Yes, and what's crazy is I wasn't even a fan. All my friends were fans and I lied the whole time that I was a fan. So we went to this concert and I knew no songs. So the night before, I stayed up memorizing every single song so that they wouldn't flame me at the concert.
Jesus Christ. You're out there doing all the lyrics up on the... Wow.
Literally.
I can definitely see you doing that. But I guess I hope you enjoyed the concert once you went.
Oh yeah, it was great. 10 out of 10.
Okay, wonderful. Well, jumping into things here, we'll just start with the landscape of what's going on. Transferring to USC. And let's just let the people know that you got your degree early from the Stanford University. So you're a grad transfer. So you're the ultimate student athlete, basically. So what was that like graduating early, extra courses, all those different things? How did that come about?
Yeah, it definitely was very challenging. I was taking 22 units during season. So like I applied for extra units in season. And then my spring quarter was like booked 20 units just to make sure I could finish. So I ended right at 180 units. It was difficult, but I think, I had a lot of support around me. So it wasn't too challenging. I also think like during season, like I'm in a routine that it's easy to like, okay, practice, class, homework, repeat. So it wasn't too hard in like getting my homework done. But I am glad that this whole process is over and I'm finally somewhere.
Yeah, now you're back to the normal ones. I mean, just for people to understand, we usually take 12 to 15 units a quarter. So 22 is insane. So
Yes.
Huge congratulations with that. But anywho, you had an amazing 3 years at Stanford. So what motivated you to enter the transfer portal?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't an easy decision. Like it's something that like I went back and forth on after our last game. I was like, do I do this? Do I not? Do I do this? Do I not? I talked to so many people, but then I also had to just like block out everything and be like, what decision do I want to make? What decision will I be happy with? And I think a big fact was like, yes, I got my degree, but like I'm the oldest child. I want to be able to come home, play in front of my family. I'm from Los Angeles. So I have a younger sister who plays basketball. So being able to come back and support her, have my parents come to my games, my high school, like just my whole village that helped me get to where I'm at, for them to be able to come and see me play is something that's super huge. And I don't think anywhere else could really replicate that. And then just from like a basketball standpoint, like I've done my school, so I'm kind of ready to like go all in with the athlete part and kind of just prepare myself to become a pro and so that I can have like a more seamless transition to the W. And I felt like USC had the tools in place. Of course, I have to do the work as well, but like they had the tools in place to help me get ready for more of like a pro style offense. So I just thought SC is the place to be.
Being a hometown kid, coming back to LA, what does that mean to you to represent in such a high fashion? And now joining Juju, who's another LA Hooper, just the two of you guys. And there's so many LA Hoopers on that team, actually, with Rand Marshall, Fisher, Clarice, like the list just goes on and on. So you guys are an LA team representing USC. So what is that like to kind of have that hometown energy with you guys?
Yeah, I think it's huge. As you mentioned, a lot of us, like, it's super funny because, like, we all kind of grew up playing against each other and now we're on the same team. So it's something super special, but, like, we're kind of all from all over LA. So for us to be able to bring our respective communities to these games and have them cheering for us. Like, I already know the stadiums are going to be packed, not just because of what we can do on the court, but because of who we are and who we mean to the places that we're coming from. So I think it's just huge. I think that's like a huge thing. Of course, playing for my family, but playing for the city I grew up in. And I think there's nowhere that can replace that. So I'm really excited, and just not the fact that it's not just me, but it's like a multiple of us that are kind of hometown heroes. It's something that's super amazing and one of a kind.
It's really a full circle moment for all of you. I'm sure growing up, you guys were each other's biggest competitors, always going head to head and all these different things. But like now for it to be a lot of your senior years, and you have a few young players as well, but just kind of have that full moment where now you guys get to be teammates, pushing to go to a Final Four, pushing for a natty, all these different things. And I mean, now being in the Big Ten, like now showing kind of the Midwest and East Coast what that LA basketball style is. So what are you looking forward to moving into the Big Ten? What do you think the different, playing styles, different tendencies, how those things are going to mesh?
One thing I will say, I'm super sad about the Pac-12.
I know.
I'm just going to say, I think we had the most competitive, the best conference ever. And like, you build relationships with all these girls. So it's like kind of sad to lose that. But I'm excited for like a new challenge. I think it's just a new beginning for everything. New school, new conference. I'm excited to kind of show like what West Coast basketball looks like, because I feel like people always hate on West Coast basketball. We don't get enough love.
Reason.
So I'm excited.
Any, like points behind it. There's
right. What's the evidence? What's the facts? Come on now.
Exactly.
So I'm excited to kind of just I'm excited to show the world kind of what West Coast basketball is like. Kind of bring that LA swag. We're also going to be on Fox a lot, so there'll definitely be a lot more eyes. But I'm excited just continue promoting women's basketball on a bigger stage.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, what you said about the Pac-12 dissolving, like we had Final Four teams every year, and more than just basketball, like in every sport. And so it's crazy to think that now it's dissolved. But I think with the way that Pac-12 network was set up and not having the national media coverage, now they're going to see all of that same talent on different teams, but really gonna have to witness it firsthand. And I feel like that happened last year a lot with Oregon State, like pushing to an Elite Eight. People had seen them all year. They're like, oh, who's Raegan Beers? Who's Talia? And we're like, we've been known. Like, they're buckets. So I'm really excited for you guys to join the Big Ten, show them what you got, and just really hoop. But talking about you joining USC and just the history and all the legends that have come through there, Cheryl Miller, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, the list goes on and on. How does it feel to be tapping into a legendary program like that, just with so many Hall of Famers, so many go to the game?
You can't even describe it. Like, words can't describe how it feels to like play for a program with such legendary players. Like, I wear number 44, and that number is retired here. Cynthia Cooper's number, and I'm allowed to wear it this year. I'm wearing 44. I got the go ahead. So it's like these legends, like they pour into us. They want us to succeed. Miss Cheryl Miller, she's always at all of our games, like front row. I actually saw her at the All-Star and we were talking a little bit, but she's great, like number one supporter. But I think it's just Lisa, of course, like I think it's just amazing to kind of have them, and they're still around and they are always pouring into our program, always uplifting us. And I feel like that's something that you don't really see everywhere. But I just think how hands-on they are is something that's going to really help us. They've been to where we want to go. They've done what we want to do. So kind of having that mentorship is something that's super special for me.
I mean, that's so amazing. Also, for somebody to allow you to wear the retired number, that just speaks volumes to how good you are, Kiki, which is so exciting because you're a star. And so, having them come to practices, reach out like that just must be so amazing because, like, somebody like you just want to soak up all that knowledge. And I'm sure all your teammates do. So to get to play in front of them, play for that history, it's amazing. I want you to give me like your scouting report on some of these players that have been in the transfer portal, big names, new conferences, new teams. Let's get into it. Starting with Oregon State, our girl Raegan Beers moving to Oklahoma. How hard is it to guard Raegan? What is she like? What is she going to bring to the Big 12?
I'm just going to say, if she gets in that paint, it's over. Let her score. If you try to guard her, you're going to foul her and you're going to be sitting on that bench. So if she's in the paint, let her score. I'd say try to keep her out. She's very strong. She's a great I think she's the highest percentage field goal for returning this season. Yes. But she can finish super, super well. So she's hard to guard, and I'm glad I don't have to guard her anymore. But yeah.
She's no longer the conference.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm with you. Okay, well, moving into another Big Ten team. Here we go. Deja Kelly, UNC to Oregon. What is that going to be like, her coming to Oregon? I didn't see that happening, by the way.
I
I thought
know.
she
I
was
was
like
like,
Miss UNC, and I said,
I thought it was
"Whoa."
gonna be like surprise, like, wait, I'm coming back actually. But
Yes, that's what I thought too. Okay, but what do you
yeah.
think? Because Oregon has kinda had a bit of a down spell these past few seasons, so what is she gonna bring to that team?
I think that's what Oregon needs. Like she's a spark that they need, as you said. Like they've had the greats. Like we've seen Sabrina, Satu,
Yeah.
all of them. So I think Deja will kind of bring that spark back, get Oregon, kind of like get them back on track to where they've been. But I think she'll be great for them. She does what she does, and yeah, I think Oregon will be good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that they're bringing in some good pieces. My last transfer we're gonna talk about is Hailey Van Lith to TCU. Gonna be playing with our girl Aggie. Gonna go crazy.
Oh my
But I'm
goodness.
so excited to see that because
Yeah.
TCU is really reloading. Like they brought in so many good pieces, and I feel like that's the thing that they need to really
Yep.
push them over the edge. So talk to me about Haley going to TCU.
I agree. I think even last season they got great pieces and they were like on the rise, like undefeated,
Yeah.
and then a lot of injuries kind of happened. So I think this is a good spot for her to kind of like, get back to who she is, get back to
Mhm.
HVL. But I think TCU is going to be really good. I think they're going to be in the tournament. They're going to be a
Mhm.
top competitive team. I know they play South Carolina this year. Agnes and I have
Yeah.
talked about it, but I know she's super excited, and I think TCU is definitely a sleeper team that people should
Yeah.
be on the lookout for.
I couldn't agree more. I feel like they were last year, then all the injuries and having the walk-on tryouts and all these different
Yeah.
things. It's kinda that was insane.
What?
But,
Can we
like,
talk about that
who
for a quick second? What?
please, give me the scoop. Give me the Aggie tea. Talk to
Well,
me.
first of all, it was all over my TikTok, so I sent her everything, and she's like, "Girl, this is like real life. Like,
Yeah.
actually, like they had a bunch of people come in and try out, and then I think a few girls made the team, and that some of
Mhm.
them, I think maybe one or two walk-ons are still on the team for this season.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
they definitely like did their thing. But I was like, this is not real life. Like, you guys
It's
actually
crazy.
like, but that's what it came down to. So that's what they had to do.
Getting into Stanford your freshman year, talk to me about getting to Stanford, those first few practices. Was it what you expected? Just kinda the whole vibe?
Yeah, well, I was super nervous. One, because it's like I'm going to college, but then two, y'all just came off of winning a natty. So I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all are the big dogs. Like, come on. And like, nobody can touch you guys. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to integrate into this system? We had so many post players. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
did that year.
how do I break into this thing? So I was just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. But I think our first practice was not even a team practice. It was like skill work, which I think was
Mhm.
super nice because I was like, okay, relax. Like, just make a layup and get in line. Like, it's okay.
Yes. Start with that. Start with that.
Exactly. Make the layup. But I think the summer is like super, super helpful because any nerves or jitters I had, we got it out. I got super close to all of you guys. Like, we all lived in the same dorm. So like, I think that really helped a lot and allowed me to just like play freely and not be so caught up in like, oh my gosh, I can't make mistakes. Someone's going to say this about
Mhm.
me, blah, 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 blah. I think we also had like great leadership. Like, we had like 6 seniors or whatever. And then like, of course, you were a captain as well. So I feel like
Yeah.
you guys also did a great job allowing me to feel comfortable. I'm like, you got it. Like, who cares? Like, just keep going, keep playing. So I feel like you guys pouring into me at a time when I didn't have the most confidence in myself was super huge and allowed me to like continue going and then go into my sophomore year and then go into this year. But I kind of
Mhm.
feel like I needed like those moments where I was like, okay, like kind of like learning, like I have to take a back seat and learn, like, let me learn what college is about. And I feel like that's
Yeah.
something as a freshman, like you kind of go in expecting like, oh, I'm going to do this and this. The reality is it's very few players that are able to go in and do that, especially like Stanford was stacked in my freshman year, like super, super stacked. So I feel like kind of like as a freshman, kind of taking the role of like, let me learn, let me soak up as much as I can rather than going in and being like, I'm going to be the man and A, B, C, and
Yeah.
D. So I think in hindsight, I'm grateful for my freshman year because I think I did learn a lot and it helped to build me into who I am now. But it was tough at times.
Yeah. No, freshman year is tough. I feel like especially at a place like Stanford, where every year the team
Yeah.
is stacked. And so it's really
Yeah.
hard to figure out where you fit in, all these different things. The system we were running that year with the Princeton office, like that takes
Oh,
forever to learn. Like
yeah.
all the different pieces to it. It's hard and academically, like there's a lot going on. And I know our summer schedule was like insane. We have
Yeah.
morning workouts, individuals, team, da 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 da. I don't know. Looking back, I don't know how I survived. Cause
Yeah.
oh my God, I could not do that. Today, I feel like I'm 80 years old. But talking about your freshman year, What were, did you have a horror story maybe? I know I have many film horror stories just of just turnovers and whatnot. And Tara asked me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. But,
Yeah.
do we have any horror stories, funny moments that you remember from your freshman year?
Okay, horror story. It was we played Tennessee, or we were going
Yeah.
to play Tennessee, and I love Tara, love her, queen. But it was a point when she was like, she told me privately first, like, Kiki, I just want you to, I was rushing my shots, but she's like, I want you to
Uh-huh.
just, set a screen and roll rebound. Don't worry about scoring at all. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like I can't even score. I was like sad about it, but I was like, whatever. Then she called the whole team and she was like, everybody, when Kiki gets on the block, give her a look, but don't pass her the ball.
I remember this.
I was like, oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Say no.
She's like, I see you, and pass the ball. She's going to screen and rebound. And I was like, damn, I don't know how to play basketball anymore. So I feel like that was something that was kind of horrific. But then the next game, Tennessee, I played well. I was like 100% from the field.
SEC trip.
I was like, okay, Kinks. But yeah, that built some character for sure my freshman year.
Yes. Freshman year is full of character building. I feel like for everybody. It really is. It really tests you. Because it's like, wow, like I need to work on this and this and that, but also like still keeping that internal confidence in what you bring. That's like a forgotten memory that I had. I remember sitting there in that meeting and looking around and being like, damn.
I was like,
that's
damn.
No, that's crazy. Moving into your sophomore year, you had an insane, I feel like every year in college, you've had a crazy jump just in your confidence, your skills, all these different things. And so talking about growing and improving your game, what do you feel like you have focused on in these summers? Because you always have a huge jump. So what was your focus freshman to sophomore? And then now, I mean, last year, sophomore to junior year, to have those jumps that you've been having?
I feel like the work remains the same, like adding some things, like definitely this summer I have more of an emphasis on like my 3-point shot. But I think the work remains the same, like getting to my pull-up or getting to my jump shot, my jab jump shot, attacking.
A classic.
Definitely trying to drive right more because everyone thinks I drive left, but I digress. But I think the work remains the same. I think it's my mindset that has changed. So I want to say like my summer going to my sophomore year, like I was working hard, but I didn't understand what I'm doing. I wasn't like, this is a game rep. This is a B, C, and D. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to work out to work out. That's how you get better. Whereas my summer going into my junior year, I was like, no, either I make something shake now or I'm done with basketball after college. Like there's nothing really. So I was like really intentional about like, I'm going to be aggressive in doing this. Every rep I did, I was like, no, it's going to be game-like. I really worked on like my mental and just like positive self-talk, like just kind of increasing my confidence and things like that. And I think that's what helped me because I played more freely. Like everyone is saying that I've been doing these things since, freshman year, whatever, high school. But I think because I was able to play more freely, I had more confidence in myself. I was able to showcase it more consistently than I had in the past. So I would really say like the work was the same, but it's really my mental that kind of did a 180 and was super, super beneficial for me.
I think like what you said, like it's been there the whole time. And I think that's so special. You're able to find it because you're still so young. And so for you to be able to understand, like it's just a mental switch and having that confidence that you can do it every single time, that consistency. I think that's what sets you apart last year and it's going to continue to do that this season, which I'm so excited about. And like you're talking about that jump that you had from jumping up to 19 points, 11 rebounds, you're averaging a double-double, all those different things. And then we get into March Madness. Keeks, you went insane. You went ballistic. Like you at some points in those games, like obviously you have Tina, you have Cam, you have Hannah, like all these different weapons. But like some of those games, it came down to you and you put the team on your back and you did what needed to be done, like dropping 40 points. That's insane. And so for you, and you hit your 1,000 career point. Let me not just skip over that. That's crazy. But Iowa State, 41, OT win, all those different things. What did we eat before the game? Tell me, what made it special? You were on something. Like, what was your mindset heading into that game, but more so in the fourth quarter, in that crunch time for you to be able to take over like you did?
Yeah, I will say, I think my body like wanted to say, tap out. Like I was physically, I could not go anymore. Like I was exhausted. Like I always cramp up too. So like I think I was off on the sideline, like on the bike, jumping off. Like very dramatic of me, but very on brand.
I was gonna say, what's new? What's new?
Very on brand. But I think it was just like, again, back to the mental. I was like, I honestly wanted to win it more for my teammates than for myself. And then also the year before, we ended our season at home against Ole Miss. So I was like, there's no way 2 years in a row we lose at
not
Maples.
back to back. Not back to back.
Like, I was like, that is not happening. So I kind of feel like I just mustered something like that little extra, because like when I missed that shot to go to overtime, I was defeated. I was like, come on, 5 more. In 5 minutes, you're like, it's just 5 minutes. But 5 minutes in basketball is forever. It's forever. I'm going against a great post player on the other team. They have a great guard as well, who also had like 30-something points. So it wasn't easy at all. We were trading baskets, but I wouldn't even say it was me that like helped win the game. It was Brooke. Like, Brooke hit some tough shots. Nunu had
Brooke
great
did
defense.
have some big buckets too.
Like, Brooke is not scared. Like, she hits the shots that I'd be like, let me pass it. She's gonna hit that shot.
Like, no second thought about it. She's taking it. When I saw Brooke making defensive plays,
defensive stopper right there.
I'm like, she's a menace. She's a defensive menace. That's what she should be known for now.
I think she thrives in like crunch time moments for sure.
She does.
But I think honestly, in the last 5 minutes in the overtime, we all kind of did every little thing. Like, all the little things added up to help us win that game, as opposed to like one person scoring or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I think you're completely right. You guys really banded together, which was really special to see in those last few minutes, which was so exciting. Let me tell you, I was stressed. I was watching the game.
Too.
I was like, please, God. I'm like, can't look stressed out. It's so different when you're watching compared to like when you're in the game, you're not stressed. Like, you're in control of what's going on.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, I was like, what's going on? What are we doing? Just that jump that you made that we've talked so much about. Tara called you the most improved player that she's ever coached. And so when did you feel like, obviously the off season, working on your game, changing that mindset, but was there a moment throughout the year, could have been preseason, in a game where you really felt that shift in yourself?
I will say, I think it's when we played Indiana. So Indiana came to us. They were ranked higher than us. Nobody cared about Stanford, and we beat them by 20. And I performed well in that game, and I was like, okay, I can do this thing. Like, that's when the confidence was like, okay, you can do it.
Yeah, we're right there.
We're there. But I will say, like, it was once we got into like conference play and I was like consistent with these kind of numbers, when I was like, oh no, I got it. Yeah. And then when we had Tara's night, when she got the 12:03, when she broke the record, and we didn't have Cam, and like Tara talked to me before the game, she was like, I think she thought I was nervous. She was like, Kiki, like, it's just a game, like, don't, because everybody's there, like, everyone is expecting us.
Her nerves. You're
like, Kiki, it's just a game, like, there's all these people here because they expect us to win tonight, but it's Oregon State, who's a great team, and we have one of our best players out, so it's like, oh gosh, what's gonna happen? She's like, Kiki, like, how are you? I'm like, Tara, I'm good, like, it's just a game, I'm fine, like, we'll be fine. And we beat Oregon State, a really great team, and I think that game kind of solidified it. So like, once we had that moment again in the tournament when we didn't have Cameron, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I was just like, okay, just do it. Just be the same person you were, as opposed to trying to be a superhero. Just continue doing what got you here. And I think that's kind of like how my story and journey has been up until now.
So now, moving into a new school, senior year, how has the process been so far, transferring? Obviously, like, new school, that's a big thing, but basketball-wise, new teammates, playing with, now you got 2 superstars, honestly more. Like, you still got TVO, you got Rayo, you got all these special pieces. What has it been like working on the chemistry with the new team, new staff, new everything?
It's been great. I don't even know, like, I don't know what to compare it to, but like, I couldn't ask for a better transition at all. Like, the whole time after I committed and I was still at Stanford, like, they're always calling me, texting me, like, checking in on me, like, the girls as well, not just the coaches. And then the second I got here, like, it didn't feel like I felt like I belonged here. I think it helps that like we grew up playing against each other, so you always know of each other, but now you get to like really form those bonds. So I feel like the chemistry with everybody has been great from the beginning. I think the coaches do a great job in like kind of like making sure we're doing like development, so like individual stuff, like what does Kiki need? Like, instead of doing like a whole post player workout, it's like, what does Kiki need? What does Ray need? Because like we play our positions differently, even though we're the same position. Yeah. So I really love like that individualized aspect. I think communication has been very transparent. Like, what do they expect from me? What am I trying to get out of this year? Things like that. But I think one thing that has been really great has been like our strength and conditioning. Like, Coach D is very intense. We do a lot of running. Which
I was gonna say, I've been seeing some clips. Kiki, you look strong, girl.
I'm trying, but I love lifting. Like, we know that. Like, the weight room is no joke, and I love it. Like, I will never
Yeah,
run
but
from that.
now you're a track star too.
But now with track star, which I didn't sign up for. So that's something that I'm getting used to. But in the long run, I know I'll be grateful for this. Like,
Yes.
once this summer session is over, I'll be like, I did that. Like, I conquered those 8 weeks. So yeah.
I'm a survivor is how you
I'm a
got to be feeling.
survivor. Exactly.
Yes, running around the court doing your thing. I'm weak. Track star kicks. But talking about, making connections with your new teammates coming in, you're a vet now, which is kind of crazy because I still think of you as like my little, but now you're a vet. And so what is that like coming in? It's already kind of difficult to kind of like set that for yourself. You got to be a
Mhm.
leader for the young kids. And then also now you're at a new school. And
Yeah.
so what has that transition been like for you being a leader on this team that you're new to, still bringing that veteran knowledge that you have? So what has that been like for you?
Yeah, it's been, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's been kind of challenging to navigate because I'm like, I am a newcomer. So like, I do want to look to like Rhea, Clarice, like the people that have been there, like what is like the character of the program? Like, what do you guys do here? But then also being able to, we have 7 freshmen. So like, that's a lot of
7?
people. 7, like they outnumber us. Like,
Yeah, that's wild.
7 freshmen. So it's kind of like, how do I also be a role model to them and like kind of help them along the way, be the kind of like upperclassman that I had and the upperclassman that I would want. So it's kind of like this, like, also I need to be a leader as well. So it's like navigating this thing, but also not
Yeah,
trying to
juggling
force
different
anything.
things.
Like, I'm not trying to come in here and be like, this is my team, this is me. No, like something has been established and I'm just adding to it. So it's
Yeah.
kind of finding like, it's like a puzzle, like trying to find where I fit, where I can like lead the way I lead, but without like, doing too much, like making it be natural. So I think that's something that I've navigated all summer, something I'm still going to continue to work on. But yeah, it's been something.
Yeah, it's been something. I'm sure it's interesting juggling all these different roles of being a newcomer, but also, coming in and you have who you are. Like you're a big person to bring into the team, but also fitting in with what's already there. So I'm excited to see how it all play out. But I think it's great knowing some of the personalities on your team. Like egos is like you guys are gonna put all your egos aside. Not even that you guys
Yes.
have big ones, but like you guys have bigger team goals than anything individual. And so I think as long as y'all keep the main thing, like you guys are gonna go to a Final Four. You're gonna beat Netters for a Big Ten championship. Like the world, it's gonna be amazing to see. Talking about going from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten, tears for the Pac-12 dissolving. Still, I like can't believe that actually.
It's not real.
But who are you most excited to match up with in the Big Ten? Maybe player wise or team wise, because you have kind of some familiar faces with Oregon and Washington, and now you get to be part of the UCLA USC, the crosstown rivalry, which will be so fun.
Yes.
But like Big Ten teams who you guys don't really get to play a lot. Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa, Indiana again. What are you looking forward to?
I think I'm really excited to play Ohio State. They're a great team. They have great players. So I think that's one of the biggest teams that I'm excited to play. And then I think you brought up the rivalry, which that's something since I've been on this campus, like we can't wear blue. Like I had blue shorts.
It's a real thing.
Could not wear it to campus. Like they take it very, very seriously. And like nothing like the Stanford Cal. Like I feel like Stanford Cal rivalry, we're like laughing and hugging each other after the games. Like that does not happen
like that.
Like it's serious. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, of course, Lauren Betts on UCLA, love her. So I'm like super excited to play against them. And like, they'll still be loved there after the game. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be all petty and mean. I can't do that with her. But it's something like new. Like I've never had a rivalry that's like this real. Like, no, like we hate UCLA. Like we don't like them at all. So it'll be something new and something interesting, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that'll be so sick. I'm going to need to make that game. I'm going to need to come and I'll wear like
a neutral half and half.
Like, half and half it for you and Betty. But no, I think the matchups are going to be really cool to see, like all these stars that we never got to see those cross-country matchups. It's going to be really exciting. And I feel like the Big Ten has been on the rise in the past few years with more teams making it in the tournament and doing all these different things. So I'll be really excited to see that. But before we get into our rapid fires, I just want to give you your flowers real quick on how amazing you are and how proud of you I am, because I think it takes a lot. Obviously, you're extremely bright, being able to graduate early from Stanford, go to USC, which is another amazing academic school, but just who you are beyond the basketball court. Kiki, you're amazing. I know everybody's looking up to you. They're going to soak up every word of knowledge that you give. I'm so immensely proud of you. And I'm excited to see a dunk in a game, pull up 3 in a game, All-American, all these different things. Final Four, I want a natty from you. Don't tell any of our other Stanford teammates that I said, like, whoa. But I am excited to see all these things from you. So I'm so excited.
Thank you, Hey James.
Oh my gosh, stop. Last section here, we're getting into our vibe check, which is going to be rapid fire answers. Okay. I do have a lot of faith in you right now. Like, I've had other guys, like when Betty was on, I was like, ooh, how is she gonna?
I'm so indecisive, so.
No. You're indecisive, but you're also like, this is what we're doing.
Okay.
So you got it. Okay, here we go. What's the drill you never want to see on the practice plan?
Oh my gosh, it's called speed passing and Gonzaga passing here. Don't ever want to do that. You're just running constantly, but with the ball. You make a mistake, you do it over again. We do push-ups, you may have to run. So just running. Like, if you haven't heard already, I don't like to run. So
yeah.
I don't like those drills.
No, thank you to that. Game-winning shot or game-winning block?
Block.
Yeah.
Block.
And one or three-pointer?
Ooh. See, I've had so many and ones that I'm going to say three-pointer now. It's three-pointer.
Really? Three-pointer. You be getting hyped about the and one. I love the stomp. You be yelling. We're doing.
But I'm trying to bring out a new celly. Like, I'm doing the kisses.
Is that what you're gonna? Is that gonna be the celly? This is gonna
be mine.
Kiss. I like it. I like it a lot. You gotta make sure you like eye contact with the camera.
The camera, yes.
I like. Okay, yes, I like it. What's your off the court go-to sneaker?
Ooh, I always wear Jordan. So like a Jordan 4. I always wear that.
Really? See, I was gonna say an Air Force because I do remember your visit and your entire family matched from head to toe. I'm gonna text your parents and get a picture for this episode. That was
like 2016 though. Now it's 2024.
Yes. You guys came in and you were all matching t-shirts, jeans, and Air Forces. I remember us on the team. We were like, no freaking way right now.
Yeah, we're that family. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Group TikTok, solo TikTok.
Group. More fun. Group.
Yeah. Toughest place to play on the road.
In the Pac-12, it was Oregon State for sure.
Okay.
Their fans
what
loud,
about
rowdy.
Ever? Like
ever?
The loudest place you ever played?
Ooh,
South Carolina.
South Carolina. As a freshman, I was like, and
do
like
you remember that?
People are like sitting up top. You look up and you could like see somebody looking at you. I was like,
I just remember trying to talk to you guys and I couldn't even hear the words coming out of my mouth. It was
so
just
loud.
A mess.
Their fans show
Jesus
out.
Christ.
They show out.
They really do. They really do. All right. Biggest trash talker. It could be on your team or somebody that you played against.
Cameron.
Good one. Okay.
And I'm glad we were teammates because.
Okay. Hardest player to guard.
Peely, honestly.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
She's so good inside, but she can shoot too, so you sag off. Boom.
And her footwork up in that paint.
Great footwork.
Oh my God.
Great. Peely.
Crazy. All right. Biggest flopper.
With love, Jenna Johnson, Utah.
With love.
With love. All love.
Yeah, Jenna, she do be flopping.
With love.
All right. Biggest basketball ick.
Honestly, I'm very sweaty, but don't let your sweat touch me. Like, that would make me...
Fran?
With love again. Love you, girlie.
With love, Fran. The sweatiest person I've ever been around. The way
changes jerseys like 3 times in practice.
And slide down the court. She's gone.
Yes.
All right. Who's your basketball goat?
I'm gonna say Candace Parker.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Mine's Maya Moore, but Candace Parker is another really good option. Who's your celebrity lookalike?
Me. There's nobody. It's me. I'm 101.
Next question. Sephora or Ulta?
Ooh!
I know. These are the good ones. These are the questions we've been waiting for.
Okay, I'm gonna say Sephora because I shop there more. But Ulta is they have like skincare, hair, they have like so many options. But Sephora,
they do. I feel like I just have more Sephora points, so I end up going there.
Sephora.
Okay, yeah, but Ulta's up their game in recent years. They really have. Okay, so if you had to pick somebody to be your 2-on-2 teammate, but none of your current USC teammates, and this could be like anybody ever, who do you want your 2-on-2 teammate to be?
Showing love to my girl Janiyah.
Ooh,
I'm picking her.
That's good.
I'm picking her.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna say Asia Wilson or something.
No, we're too big and big. No.
Okay, but Kiki, what about your 3-point skills now? Like now you're basically
you're right. You're right.
Okay,
Janiyah.
But Janiyah.
But Janiyah. Yeah.
That's a good pick. Homegirl's bucket. I'm excited to see her go crazy.
Yep.
Okay, what's your favorite pregame hype song?
I don't know if I can say it on camera, so I'm just gonna go with a clean option. If it's a Sunday game, it's all gospel. Only gospel, and that's all I listen to. So I'm just going to go with that.
We'll stick with that. Okay, love it. Okay, and now I'm going to need your best impersonations of both Tara and now Lindsay. So we can start with Tara first. And you're really good at it, so I'm intrigued to see which one. Yes, you be impersonating all the time. So give it to us.
See, I think Tara is just a lot of yelling my name. She's just like, Kiki! Like, that's Kiki! What are you doing?
Yeah.
Kiki! Rebound!
There's a lot of Kiki.
Just Kiki! That's it.
You were definitely her favorite name to say.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Of course. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
All right. Next one, Lindsay.
Coach Lindsay. I think it's hard in the summer. We haven't done a lot of like team practices. We've done mainly like individuals. So I can't give you a read on Coach Lindsay yet, but in the future.
Okay. Well, who's the coach you've been working with?
Deli. I work with Coach Deli. He's just emotional. So he's like, come on, Kiki, lock in. Come on. Like, you think he's about to cry. He's like, come on, lock in. Come on, lock in. I'm like, relax. I missed one layup, but I got the rebound and I made it. We got it back. It's fine. I'm like, relax. But yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, that's a wrap, Kiki. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been such a pleasure. Miss you, love you, excited to watch you. Oh, and I did get like my split jersey on Etsy or something for the game this year. But thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This was super fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes of Sometimes I Hoop. Kiki, you're so good.
This was so fun. Hailey, you're a natural. Like, actually a natural.